What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with the season 7 premiere of The Real Housewives of Miami. First of all, I'm just here to tell y'all, these heifers going on 4 cash strips, okay? 4. Let's start there. Like, we usually do 2, but the heifers got 4, okay? I ain't gonna hold y'all. It looked like this season gonna be good. We got a whole bunch of a demise of friendships. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Season 7, episode 1, MIA back in action. We get this montage of Alexia and Todd. Y'all already know Adriana was, all last season talking about her and Todd. Alexia and Todd. Alexia kept lying, talking about me and Todd, we good. Y'all wasn't good. That lady wasn't lying, okay? That lady wasn't lying on you and Todd, okay? So the episode starts with Alexia talking about how Todd left her, how he was taking stuff out the house piece by piece. And then when she came home, he took all of his stuff out of the house. Him and his daughter moved out. Alexia feels like she let her sons down. Girl, they some grown ass people, okay? So Alexia is on the phone with Teresa Giudice. What's Teresa's last name? Teresa from New Jersey. Y'all, this is the second time I've seen her today. Okay? Teresa is popping up everywhere. Alright? So Alexis is now talking to the ladies about it again. So the ladies are rallying around her. And, on one couch you see Gertie. Julia and Adriana, just sitting there while the other ladies rally around her. So we 5 months later, okay, and not only that, I'm sorry, let me say this. Todd had talked to her in this same week, Monday and Tuesday. I don't think he talked to her Wednesday, Thursday. He served her with some divorce papers, okay? 5 months later, Alexia and Marisol meet out for lunch, and we find out that Lenny Raggedy Ass done got his divorce. Was good. Listen, karma circles back like a big old hoe. I done told y'all that, and I'm gonna keep telling y'all that, okay? He got what he got, and because you tried to dog this lady out. So Alexia and Marisol sitting there wondering if Lisa gonna go back to Lenny Raggedy Ass. The whole time, Alexia is still dipping it and doing it and letting Todd dip his stick in her turkey. Dip his turkey in her gravy. Girl, you can't say nothing about anybody. You cannot say nothing about Lisa. Because I was so glad. I thought that Lisa was gonna consider taking Lenny back after he walked her. Like, literally dragged this lady by her scalp last season. Okay? Y'all, Miami is good, okay? And so Marisol was like, well, I hope she don't get back with Lenny. And so Lisa is actually supposed to meet with them for lunch. So they was like, we glad Lisa not here yet, so we can just kind of talk about what's going on. And that's when they was having a conversation about Lenny. So Marisol was like, well, hold up. So I read in the blogs that your ass, she didn't say that, but your ass done went on a vacation with Todd Raggedy Ass after he done dragged you by your scalp, took all your stuff, took your things, and left. So when I tell you, Alexia can go directly to, you gonna get just what you gonna get. And even I look back at how they did circle around Lisa, but then at the same time, it was like they was getting frustrated because Lisa just couldn't get over Lenny, but she finally did. Like you can see it in this episode, and that gonna bring me to Larsa because we gonna get there. Okay, y'all, when I say y'all this, I was so excited to watch this. This was so good. Anyway, and I hope, listen, we can wrap up all this Lenny talk as of today. I don't want to hear nothing about, like, we ain't never got to talk about Lenny, not no other day, not no how, nothing. All right? So, Alexia tells Marisol, I didn't want to tell the ladies about me and Todd. She feels like her and Todd isn't finished. No, that's bullshit. You didn't want to tell them because you know they was going to say something to you about it. That's why you didn't want to tell them. Talking about why I wasn't embarrassed. You ain't have to be. You was embarrassed. Low key, you was embarrassed, and you didn't think it was going to get out. You wanted to do it sneakily and quietly. But I'm glad everybody know in the what do they call it? The media aired that shit out. Why you talking about while you with him, you got the audacity to say, well, I hope Lisa don't get back with Lenny. Girl, you got some damn nerve. Sorry. Anyway, so in come Lisa. She was like, well, Lenny has asked. She was like, well, Lenny asked to get back with me. And so they was like, no. Even Alexia. At this point, La Mama, you gotta sit there and eat your food because you still died. Okay? Husband or not, nigga left you. Why am I looking over here? Okay? Anyway, so Lisa said, well, yeah, Lenny asked me to get back with him. And so they was like, why? She was like, well, I have kids to consider. And she was like, yeah, I'm just playing. I would never. She really likes Jody. And she said, she didn't say this, but basically, it'll be a cold day in hell before I get back with Lenny. You understand? I was glad about that because I ain't gonna hold y'all. I really thought that she was like really reconsidering this. Anyway, Marisol thinks it's stupid for Alexia to hang out with Todd. That's what she said in her confessional. Alexia to me sound delusional as okay. Marisol says what's right for the whole ain't right for the soul. I know that's right. Okay? You don't need, like, at this point, Alexia, don't need to be sleeping with Todd. Because the way he gonna drag her before the end of the season is over. Anyway, Lisa invite the ladies to a party she's throwing for Jody. It's like a 30s theme, 30s, 40s type party. And, the lady's going to be there. They're asking about, they start to talk about Larsa. So apparently Larsa is upset because Marcus is now friends with Jody. Has been friends with Jody before they broke up. So they said Larsa felt like Lisa should have stopped Jody from hanging out with Marcus. Girl, you and Marcus, because don't nobody owe you nothing like that. Lisa said, I cannot control Jody, but for me, I'm not going to hang out with Marcus. Me, because that's my friend. But as far as my old man, he a grown man. I can't tell him what to do. That don't have nothing, what you got going on with Marcus don't have nothing to do with this. But until it affects this over here, Larsa can go to hell because now she want everything and everybody to be about her. All right? Anyway, they feel like Alexa and I was pissing me off, and we only 9 minutes in. Was pissing me off is Alexia and Marisol always tag teaming, taking up for Larsa whole ass. Okay? So, talking about you should have controlled him. Bitches said he can't control him. So Alexia takes off for Larsa, and she feels like Lisa was wrong. Again, why was Lisa wrong? Why? Lisa cannot control this man. Like, and it seems as though Jody separates himself from whatever drama Larsa has with Marcus. That doesn't have anything to do with him. He don't bring it to the house. And Lisa, he don't bring it around Lisa. So Marisol asks if she should talk to Jody at his birthday party. Lisa said no, because you're going to get kicked the fuck out. Try it and see. So we get to Julia and Martina. Y'all, Julia and Martina are finally having their babies. They're having two baby boys, which is so good. I'm so happy for them because Julia been wanting this for quite some time. And so Martina tells her they're old enough to be grandparents, and I agree. They're at that stage because Julia's kids are grown. So we found out that Martina is 100% cancer free. Praise the Lord. Okay, y'all, I know I just said praise the Lord and just was fussing and cussing, and I'm still going to be fussing and cussing at the end of this video. Anyway, so we find out Julia tells Martina that the ladies were happy for her, and Kiki wasn't on the line because she dropped her phone in the toilet, so she couldn't get on the Zoom call. So Gertie was on the Zoom call. Apparently Julia was taking too long, and so she had to get on another call. She had another meeting, so she had to drop the call. So she texts Julia to find out, hey, what's going on? I had to drop the call, yada yada yada. Let me know what's going on. And so Julia, we find out I guess I don't know how Gertie found out, but Gertie texts Julia and said congrats. Julia felt like that text was dry. Julia, what the you want her to do? She asked you for the link to get back on the line. You didn't want to send it to her because you got in your feelings. Like, okay, girl. So y'all, I was like, here we go. This bullshit. Okay. So to me, it just seemed like a big old misunderstanding, or it's just the fact that now Julia want to have a problem. So now I feel like you're friends with Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Tweedletwat. Okay? Tweedledee, Dumb, and Twat is Alexia, Marisol, and Larsa. I never liked them. I hope I can like them this season. We're going to try it. But right now, they ain't getting a whole ass like from me. Not right now. Not episode 1. Okay? So, to me, it feels like it's a misunderstanding. And I also feel like Julia and Gertie can actually talk separately. Not with people, but just separately. Maybe they'll have a better understanding. So, Lisa and Jody, they're still going strong. Lisa moved into a rental. And y'all know it's the opulence for me. Okay? Let me say this. I can't afford their opulence right now. The lady living in a 6-bedroom rental. And she paid $32,000 a month. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay? So, they showed a montage with her kids. Baby, them kids is still, my Lord. Girl, you got work to do. Anyway, Jody wants more of his friends. He tells Lisa, listen, I know we're going to throw this party for me, but I need more of my friends at this party and less of your friends. More of my friends, less housewife-ish, because he doesn't want any drama. So he did say, I'm not going to invite Marcus because I don't want any drama. This is him considering Larsa's stank ass. Okay? Not inviting Marcus. Yes, that is somebody I hang out with. And yes, I met him through you. But at the same time, I am considering your feelings and all of that because I know y'all have broken up. So I would not invite him here. So Lisa says she don't want Larsa to act up. Girl, motherfucker Larsa. You understand? Y'all, okay. So in the next scene, Larsa talks to her mom about Marcus. She says she's seen a side of Marcus that didn't align with her as a person. So I will say I totally understand that. And for that, if you had to leave, you had to do what you had to do. Point blank in the period. So she starts to cry. She's embarrassed. And she said he started tripping because she chose herself. And she said that this is why she's mad at Lisa. But Lisa was like, they keep making up and breaking up. So that's pretty confusing. That could be pretty confusing to Lisa and everybody else around you. You want us to leave Marcus, but and again, it is a struggle when you're with somebody and you're constantly making up and breaking up until you really decide that this isn't what you want. But at the same time, you want people to go back and forward on this yo-yo because you decided to go yo-yo yourself back and forward with this man. And now you want to make this everybody else's problem. So I guess this the new beef. You want beef with your best friend. So Lisa found out her dad had a stroke. But she just made amends with her father. And so she said, I really don't know how to feel about that. She said because of the things that he's done in the past, that's why they were never able to connect. But she said, he did the best he could with what he had. So in the next scene, we see Kiki, Gertie, and Adriana. They are meeting up on a yacht. When I tell you Kiki has body yachty, I was like, there you go. So she met with Gertie. Gertie looks really good. Like, Gertie says she had 6 surgeries, 4 rounds of chemo, 20 radiation treatments, lipo, breast reduction, and Gertie is now cancer free. Again, praise the Lord for the women in Miami that are cancer free. Listen, and everywhere else, but I'm specifically talking about this show, Martina and Gertie. That I am so happy because we remember when they were first diagnosed. So I can't even imagine the journey that their spouses had to go on, their kid, everybody just had to take with them. So Gertie said it feels like some residue. She didn't say residue, but she said it still feels like there's some residue that's been left behind with her having, cancer. So they show a clip of her and Russell talking, and she have her emotions and her feelings as it relates to Russell taking care of her, because she didn't by no means want Russell to have to be a caregiver. But Russell was like, I had to do what I had to do. So this yacht. Okay, so Miss Kiki still have access to this yacht anytime she want, because the man who she used to date allowed her to come on the yacht. And I'm not mad at that. When I tell y'all, it looked like Kiki gonna be a whole fun time. Okay, I think I'm gonna enjoy Kiki. Why she's still a friend of, her and Adriana. Like, I don't understand why Adriana is still a friend of, but she is. I still love Adriana on here, even though she get on my nerves sometimes, but I still like her. So Kiki was dating, but it turns out that was a dog. Okay. Her son is in college and she just moved into her new house. So I'm extremely happy for Kiki. So Adriana met a man. He's French. And she was saying, they was like, well, you were right about Todd and Alexis. And she was like, well, I wish I was wrong. She said, because now I'm on the other end, and me being on both ends, me coming out of the stuff that I had to go through, I'm hoping that Alexia can do the same thing and be strong and just be able to walk away and move on, and I'll be there for her if she needs a friend. Kiki girl, Kiki and Gertie looked at her like, Girl, I know you like, because I even looked at her like that, like, girl. Then they showed a montage of the times her and Alexia got into it, which was every time they were together. Okay? So, Alexia met with Larsa. Larsa asked Alexia if she said, you're single, we're single, right? And so Alexia was like, no, I'm married. I said, the way I wanted to stab her in her left eye with this pen, okay? Because I was like, you just really sitting here. First of all, let me say this. I don't know what's those people's status. Are they still married? Are they still divorced? I'm going to have to go check and see before I give my full assessment on Alexia and this Todd situation. Okay? Anyway, she said that she's not single. You're not single unless your heart is single. And she's not there yet. No, you're not single because your coochie ain't single because you keep giving it to die. Okay? So she said, now you're doing all of this. You're sleeping with him. You're with him in the most intimate ways. But you're afraid to talk to him about the divorce. You don't want to talk to him about that divorce because you are afraid that still is that divorce is still ongoing. And you don't want to get your feelings hurt because in either way, you're going to get your feelings hurt. I hope that they're still together. I hope that all of that has been rescinded. But for me, I just think that Alexia is, and I don't even like Alexia like that, but I feel like you are doing yourself a disservice because the moment his raggedy ass left and took all of his things, locks would have been changed. It wouldn't have been nothing you had to say to me. Arrivederci. Have a good life, sir. But some people are not like that. So, Larsa wants Alexia to walk away. She said, and then she goes on to say how Marcus was sending threatening texts to her and her friends. And Marcus looked like he was unstable. I don't know. It's just something about that little boy. So, Larsa wants Lisa to get out of Lisa land. And I need Pot to meet Kettle. Because Larsa, you and Lisa are two vapid people. And that's why y'all are friends. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Let me add Alexia in that. You three are so vapid. And that's why y'all are friends. And for me, she's mad at Lisa because she feels like Lisa should be able to control Jody. But you're not mad. Then she make a comment and say, well, I'm not mad at Jody because it's not his fault. So how is this Lisa's fault? What is it that you want her to do? I need you to make that make sense for me. I mean, I get it. Let me say this. I'm not discounting Larsa's feelings or anything like that. But it's very apparent that you about to make Lisa and Marcus your motherfucking storyline. Okay? You about to make this whole breakup your storyline instead of just moving on. You're giving it more life. So, I don't know. She aggravates me, and the way she handled Lisa sometimes, I was glad that Lisa told her, girl, go. Like, I feel like this season, Lisa has gathered some balls. And kudos to her if she has. So, Adriana Man is French. He's a marquis. He's fine as... Okay. And so, she arrived. She and her man arrived. Kiki arrived. And then all the ladies start to come in. They congratulate Martina and Julia. And then there was another part where Lisa wanted to hook Alexia up with, well, I guess one of the men at the party. And she was like, Alexia, no, because I'm married. Are you? I mean, it seems that you are married to Todd, but is Todd married to you? You know what though? I'm going to mind my business. Okay. So apparently there is some distance between Julia and Adriana. And Adriana said it's because she's getting closer to Marisol and Alexia. And y'all remember at that last reunion, Julia went to go talk with Adriana and Alexia, and I think that's where they were able to mend things. Because even at the beginning of this episode, Julia and Alexia, she was with them and she was telling them everything that was happening, but I almost forgot that they did make up at that reunion, because my first thought was, how are they friends? But okay. But this is the confusion. This is what confuses me about Alexia, because you have an issue with Julia being friends with them, but you just told Kiki, was it Kiki and Gertie? You just told those two that you wouldn't mind being a friend to Alexia, to help her come out of this situation between her and Todd. I don't know, Adriana, I can't fully trust you. Like, you are not to be trusted. You are a snake. You are very entertaining, but you are a snake. Like, I'm just saying. So Gertie goes to speak to Martina and Adriana, and the energy over there is very weird, because when Gertie spoke with Martina, she just had this big goofy smile on her face, like, girl, get the fuck away from me, because we ain't really got nothing for you. Again, this falls solely on Julia, because you could have had a conversation with Gertie. If you were feeling this strongly about it, you should have had a conversation with Gertie. But I'm pretty sure you have had this conversation with Marisol and Alexia messy ass. Anyway, hold on, y'all. So, while we on the subject of weird energy, we get Larsa and Lisa. So Larsa told Lisa, hey, you haven't called me. I texted you. I called you. You didn't return my calls on my text. So Lisa start the stuttering and stammering, lying, talking about, I didn't get your text. I didn't do this. I got to go change. I'm drunk. Girl, like, it almost made me feel like, girl, you on something? You and Jody? Because what was he doing in the bathroom? And who was he in the bathroom with? Now, I missed that part, y'all. But if y'all can let me know, was he in there with a woman? Or was he in there with a dude? And if he was in there with a dude, what were they doing? Because Jody give me, I like to shove stuff and sniff stuff. Sniff, shove, whatever. That what I get. So, Adriana and her French dude is talking about schmicks. So, what's her name? Marisol husband Steve is just sitting there just watching them kiss and smooch, and she talking about, can I go 7 rounds? Can you give me 10? And he was like, baby, I'm gonna give you, he didn't say this, but he said this, I'm gonna give you whatever you want, whatever you need, I got you. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, Adriana be full of shit, okay? But she is very entertaining. She is a great addition to this show. So Larsa goes up to Jody and she tells Jody, Lisa didn't text me back, and Lisa's not texting her, and I'm pretty sure Jody knows, but he doesn't want to be in the middle of any of it. So she asked about the stuff, have you seen the stuff that Marcus said? Girl, why are you bringing up Marcus to this man at his birthday party? Like, girl. And so Jody was like, no. So I'm pretty sure that Jody lied. But at the same time, he stated, I don't want any drama at my party. So I feel like that was him, disengaging and not because this man is a friend of mine and you are a friend of my wife. So we don't want no parts of this. But of course, Larsa is gonna make it about them. Anyway, Larsa says in her confessional, Jody just like Marcus's last name. She thinks he's a clout chaser. And again, in my notes, I feel like he's disengaging because at the same time, nobody owes you anything, Larsa. You broke up with him. You broke up with Marcus. That's between you and Marcus. Girl, the way I would have mushed her in the damn face like, girl, if you'll get your stupid ass away from me. Okay, so let's talk about all this weird energy that's going on. So Julia and Gertie got some tension. Larsa and Lisa have tension. Adriana and Julia have tension. And I'm willing to say, I could be wrong. But possibly Marisol and Alexia may squash it, but I don't know. I think this is what I think. I just think, and look like this new lady, she might be on next week, gonna definitely have seem like she gonna have some tension with Alexia. But maybe possibly Marisol and Alexia, I don't know. Maybe Alexia, she probably aggravated with this whole Alexia and Ty situation. So I don't know. We gonna see. So at this point, the camera pans back on Adriana and her man. Girl, they still kissing. Girl, come up for air. This is a party. Enjoy the party. You can do all that at your house. Okay? So Gertie said in her confessional, she was explaining her side. She said she was on a call with Julia. Julia was taking too long, but she had to get on another call, so she had to drop off. And Gertie asked, she texts, hey, what was the news? What was the good news? And she was brushed off by Julia. So Lisa, that was Gertie in her confessional. So there's a part of me, again, misunderstanding that can be talked about in a conversation. But it feels like Julia wants a problem. And I feel like that is fueled up by them two heifers. Okay, and when I tell y'all, I do not like Marisol and I do not like Alexia. I don't put nothing past them two heifers. Okay? So Lisa comes and sit down. Everybody's sitting around. And she was like, I'm in a happy place. And she said, good karma has circled back my way. And so Larsa was like, are you talking about you're in a happy place because of, with everything with Lenny? And she was like, no. She was like, are you celebrating the stuff about Lenny? She was like, no, I'm celebrating life. Larsa whole ass gonna tell her, don't forget when life wasn't so good for you and you was sad. Then she tell her, your friends was really there for you. And she also tells her that some of them are in a bad place now and you need to check on them. Larsa, everything that lady cried about, you was complaining. Let's start there. And then when you was in a happy place with your man, you wanted to be all up in all inside and in between that man's skin and his booty. Okay? So don't act like you was being that friend, because you wasn't that friend to nobody. Even with the news with Gertie, you set your raggedy ass down. Well, not sat down, but you took your raggedy ass went and told everybody Gertie's situation. So were you being a good friend last season? Hell no. And now you want everybody to rally around you, and you want Lisa to run behind you and kiss your ass. Girl, you got lick. Okay? So Larsa said Lisa is supposed to control Jody. Larsa, you sound stupid. I'm sorry, y'all. Larsa, I want to like Larsa. I really, really do, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I really do. But the heifer is working on my nerves, okay? And it's just the entitlement, the sense of entitlement that Larsa has to, she feels like Lisa owe her something. She's like entitled, like, I don't know, this sense of entitlement. And what pisses me off, and I may have said it earlier, how Marisol and Alexia back her up in her foolishness. And it make me feel like y'all was behind the scenes and be like, us three, we gonna have each other. It was like we gonna have each other back type thing. So I don't know. So Alexia says, this is Lisa's fault because she doesn't answer the phone. Alexia, girl, shut the fuck up. Okay? I feel like I'm gonna be saying that this whole season. So at this point, them two get into it. And so Lisa was like, Lisa was like, you and Marcus kept breaking up, like getting back together and breaking up. So I felt like this was all fake. So Larsa called her a fake bitch. Lisa was like, all right, you can go. Like, she put her out. And so Gertie says that Larsa have TMZ and all different blogs on speed dial. So the fact that Marisol and Alexia, I'm sorry, I keep messing up her name. Alexia sat there in Lisa's house and told her she was wrong. How is she wrong? When I tell you, them hoes will be walking right behind her because y'all be getting up out of my house too. You two can go as well. Bye-bye. Okay? I'm sorry. Let me tell y'all, that was that pissed off clap. Okay? Because I ain't had no other expression. That shit pissed me off because don't do that. And them two have a bad habit of doing this and like double teaming people. This new lady that comes in, I hope she give them two the blues. So everybody goes to follow Larsa, Julia, which really surprised me. Julia, Alexia, Marisol, and Kiki. Like, we know Kiki gonna be Kiki. Okay? So Larsa said she didn't want this to be about her, but yet you made this whole thing about you and Marcus. And y'all, she get in the car and she left. Lisa drunk. I think she drunk. She was giving me something else, but sis was drunk. Sorry, y'all. I just look here. She was drunk, and again, who in the entire was in that bathroom with Jody, and what was he doing? Was he doing the same thing Marcus was doing? Because we saw Marcus on. Somebody took a picture of him. So I am of the belief. Is that the reason why you hang around Marcus? I just something ain't right with. Something has never been set right in my spirit with Jody. And that's why I'm going to leave it at. Anyway, as I stated, the heifer going on 4 trips. They going on a cruise and 3 other trips out of the country. Okay? They got money. And I want to say shout out to Nicole, because I wish she was still on this episode. But Nicole had babies, and but she is gonna be a friend of, so we will see her, and I don't know if that's gonna be next week's episode. But looking at the trailer, it looked like I'm gonna be cussing all season long. This one gonna be just as colorful as the Real Housewives of Atlanta. July, Orange County come back on, and Miss Gretchen is gonna be back. So I will be reviewing that as well. Anyway, I don't think I told y'all, but like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video that I drop. And y'all let me know what y'all thought about this first season 7 premiere. Let me know in the comments. Am I too colorful for y'all? You know, when I say colorful, I mean cuss. Okay? So, y'all let me know what y'all think. Don't be too hard on me, okay? Don't be too hard on me. But let me know what y'all think. And I will come to y'all tomorrow. I want to say with 3 more videos. So, by the time Sunday come, I would have dropped 20-something videos. Yeah. So, anyway, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.